Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Game 2 of a 3-game set between the New York Yankees and the Toronto Blue Jays. Welcome to the Virtual Jays Network. My name is Jackson Farough. I'm joined for the second game in a row by Liam Crothers on this beautiful Saturday here in New York. The fans are excited in this home opening series in New York, and New York won on Thursday, so they're 5-2 on the year, and gave the Blue Jays their second loss of the season. And Jordan Montgomery goes for the Yankees today.
Yeah, the 6'6" left-hander hasn't made too many appearances since 2017 after Tommy John surgery, but he was very good in that rookie year in 2017, induced a lot of weak contact to the batters that he faced. And against the Blue Jays lineup that's been pretty prolific, we're going to see what he gets up to here.
And he'll kick things off against Bo Bichette, who had the day off yesterday. He's back in the lineup, leading off and playing short. Now, he's led off in every game he's played in to start this season. And with the Jays losing yesterday, not being able to generate a lot of offense, it's good to get that young star hitter back in the lineup. He's had a slow start to the season, but Charlie Montoyo knows that he's going to get out of this funk eventually. Here's the pitch. That one's low and inside there. It's a 2-0 count to the leadoff hitter, Bichette.
Yeah, and you mentioned the funk that Bichette's been in. It's almost uncharacteristic. As a rookie, he showed a lot of poise. We all remember that battle against Clayton Kershaw in Los Angeles, and he's just got to try to get back on the horse and put up some good at-bats.
You're right about that. And he's putting up a good one right now as he takes a second straight pitch low and inside. Montgomery trying to get him to swing on that one, but Bichette doing a great job of taking. It's a 3-0 count to start this one. And Montgomery ready to deal, and here's the pitch. That one's right in there for a strike. It's a 3-1 count now.
Simple as a get-me-over fastball. In a 3-0 count, it's a pitcher's dream to have a guy get the stop sign from one of his coaches, and we'll see what Bichette does here. 3-1.
Here's the pitch. That was swung on and missed there. Montgomery hits his spot. Excellent pitch.
Yeah, and Bichette very, very upset that he had to take that first pitch, that first strike. Tried to come back big with that swing, and now he's got a full count.
Here's the payoff pitch. Montgomery deals. That one is called low and outside. Oh, that was a close one. But Bichette gets the call on a leadoff walk.
And who knows? Maybe that's the at-bat that gets things started for Bichette. Sometimes you need a couple of calls to go your way, and that pitch on the outside corner, could have gone either way. The umpire decided to give it to the batter, and now it'll be a man on for Kevin Biggio.
Yeah, and Kevin Biggio, also a guy who got the day off yesterday with Joe Panik at second, but Biggio returns. And I think if you look at the second base spot for the Blue Jays this season, Biggio is going to get majority of the starts, but Joe Panik, a pretty good backup option over there at the second base.
Yeah, and Panik was brought in to sort of solidify that right side. Biggio going to get most of the starts, but after the off day yesterday, it's right back to Biggio in that starting lineup.
And especially with the lefty bat like Biggio, he's got a nice fluid swing. And with that short porch and left, we saw Mike Tauchman of the Yankees take advantage of it yesterday. Lefties can really mash homers in this ballpark. An 0-2 count now to Biggio. Here's the pitch. That one's low there. Just misses the strike zone, and it'll be a 1-2 count now.
That's a good take from Biggio. On an 0-2 count, a batter's got to try to protect himself, but we've seen in Biggio's young career that he's got a great eye and really has a way of finding the ball out of the pitcher's hand and is usually only going to swing at strikes.
Yeah, and I don't know how he didn't swing at that pitch there. Excellent play discipline from Biggio. Here's the 1-2. He swings on that one, flies it out into shallow left field. Torres ranges back and makes the play. He's playing shortstop once again today for the Yankees. So one away and one on now, as Lourdes Gurriel Jr. in the lineup today, and he'll be playing left field as we take a look at this Jays lineup. So Gurriel in the 3-hole, Guerrero Jr. at 4. Grichuk hitting 5th today. Teoscar Hernandez remains in the 6-hole. Shaw moves down the lineup, hits 7th. Brandon Drury DHing today and hits number 8. And Danny Jansen catching moves down the lineup as well. He'll hit number 9 today. But right now it's Gurriel Jr. at the plate. Here's the pitch to Gurriel Jr. Swings on that one and fouls it right back. So it's an 0-1 count. And man, Gurriel Jr. played shortstop yesterday and he looked really great defensively.
Yeah, and it's just good for Charlie Montoyo to know that Gurriel Jr. is feeling a little bit more confident on the middle infield, so he has that option to give Bichette the day off if he needs to.
Yeah, it's a luxury to have for sure when you can slot in a young player for another young player, and two good ones at that. It's an 0-2 count now to Gurriel Jr.
Well, this Blue Jays lineup full of very young hitters, and obviously against the New York Yankees, this is going to be one of the big tests of their career.
You're right about that. And Jordan Montgomery, a test for him as well, trying to navigate through this lineup. That one is hit down the first base line, and it'll swing foul, but that was a close one on 0-2.
And after the day the Blue Jays had yesterday, I think quite a few of these hitters would have liked to seen that one fall.
Yeah, you're right about that. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That one just outside. An excellent take from Gurriel Jr. there, so it's a 1-2 count now.
These Blue Jays hitters showing much more patience than they showed in the first inning against Masahiro Tanaka 2 days ago, and I think it's going to help them as they've got Montgomery here to 15 pitches already.
Yeah, Montgomery here is his 15th pitch. It's a strikeout there. He gets Gurriel Jr. to swing at that high heat. First strikeout of the game, rather. 2 away now.
Yeah, and Gurriel looked ugly on that swing. He almost looked like he knew that it wasn't going to be a strike about halfway through that swing, but he had already committed, couldn't check his swing, so you just try to make contact, foul it off, and keep yourself alive.
And just to reiterate, the last couple weeks of the Blue Jays season, they swept the Red Sox, as that one gets away from Sanchez, but he'll control it there. But they swept the Red Sox, took 2 of 3 from the Reds, so they came into Yankee Stadium on Thursday 6-1, and they dropped the opener in this series on Thursday in the Yankees home opener, and it was a pretty ugly one, a 5-0 loss. So the Blue Jays will try to, they get a day off here in New York to clear the mind a little bit after that loss. It's a good time for an off day, no question about that.
Yeah, in a city like this, there's plenty of things to distract yourself with. I personally took a trip to the Empire State Building yesterday, had a lot of fun. Got a couple sideways looks from my Blue Jays cap, but an off day was definitely necessary for these kids.
Yeah, it sure is a Yankees town here, and you really notice that how big the brand is once you start walking around. As that one's hitting the left center, Gardner fields and throws, but now first and second as Guerrero Jr. gets a 2-out single.
And that is what Guerrero Jr. does so well. Obviously, we know about the home run potential, but he makes so much solid contact. That thing was ripped into left center field, and Gardner had to hustle because it's not exactly a man who's slow with the feet as Bo Bichette makes it into second.
So Randall Grichuk steps in now, another guy who had an off day on Thursday. He steps back in the 5-hole. Now, he's had a great start to the year, has an OPS over 1,000, and in the Cincinnati Reds series, he hit 500. He had 3 walks, 3 hits, a run in only 6 at-bats, to be fair. Small sample size, a couple doubles as well, but he's looked great when he's had the opportunity, and he's in a 2-0 count now.
Yeah, and Grichuk obviously showing a much better eye than Blue Jays fans are used to. He's usually a guy who's going to strike out quite a bit, but so far this season, he's looked excellent and waiting for his pitch.
And once again, he's playing center field today as he hits that one right up the middle into right center field. Bichette will round third and try to come home. Gardner will not bother throwing home as he would have had no chance, and it's a 1-0 ball game.
The Jays looking like they've got their groove back here in New York. Grichuk finds a fastball right down the pipe on a 2-0 count, makes no mistake, drives in his second RBI of the season, and man, he has been on fire so far.
Yeah, and again, just good approach to the plate, waits for the pitch, sees it, and is able to deliver a good swing on it. Again, nothing fancy, just good baseball, being able to get those hits when you need them. And the Jays didn't really get them yesterday, but starting the day off right here. And it all began with a Bichette walk, right, to lead this game off. And the leadoff hitter getting on base so important as we are now on the number 6 hitter for the Blue Jays today. Teoscar Hernandez, playing right field once again. And he's in a 2-0 count now with 2 on and 2 out.
Yeah, and Teoscar Hernandez is one of the guys that's been in the lineup more consistently so far this season, and he's looking to try to prove to Charlie Montoyo why he should be in the lineup going forward.
And then 8 at-bats in the Red Series. He had 4 strikeouts, which is high, but also 3 RBI, a walk, 3 hits, and a pretty big home run. It was a 3-run shot. So Hernandez, the story really is, if he's not getting a strikeout and he's not getting a double or a homer, there's really not much else to be offered with Hernandez, but he's in a 3-1 count now looking to get on base here.
Yeah, one of those 3 outcome hitters, and he's got a chance for that 3rd outcome here on a 3-1 count. If he can exercise some patience, he'll load the bases.
Here's the pitch. That one swung on in, drilled into deep left field. Hernandez watching it, and it looks like it'll sail foul, and it does. But man, that was a close one, wasn't it?
Hernandez just missed his pitch there. He wants that one back.
Right about that. Here's the payoff pitch, and a swing and a miss there. If it's not a home run, it's probably a strikeout. And we see it again. Hernandez with the K, but had a really good opportunity just one pitch prior. We head to the bottom of the first in the Bronx. And welcome back here on the Virtual Jays Network. It's the bottom of the first inning here. Yankees Blue Jays on a gorgeous Saturday here in New York. Now Chase Anderson will make his second start of the season for the Jays.
Yeah, and Chase Anderson, very impressive. Another one of those fantastic outings that the Jays had from their starting rotation, along with Ryu and Rourke. Didn't have the best of games 2 days ago, but Anderson going to look to pick things back up on the right foot and hopefully eat up a couple innings here for the Jays.
And here's his first pitch of the game. That one is swung on into right field, and it'll sell foul. DJ LeMahieu leading off today. His career against Chase Anderson, and they've actually played a decent amount against each other, with both spending time in the National League. He's 4 for 21, and he's hitting .269 to start this season. And here's the 0-1 pitch from Chase Anderson. That one is high, missing there, so it's a 1-1 count. And yesterday, LeMahieu, didn't look great at the plate, I'll be honest with you. A couple strikeouts. He had a walk, but, definitely leaving more to be desired from the number 3 hitter. Obviously, it didn't really matter for the Yankees as they got a big win on Thursday, not yesterday.
Yeah, and sometimes, baseball is just one of those games where you don't need everyone to contribute if you have a couple key guys bringing in the runs.
And that pitch is low, evens up the count now at 2. So Chase Anderson trying to have a good start to this one and maybe get the leadoff runner out. And that pitch misses inside there. It's a full count now to LeMahieu.
Yeah, and this is what the Jays wanted to avoid, as LeMahieu's worked a 3-2 count here. And if he gets away from Anderson, I think a lot of Blue Jays fans are going to start shaking their heads.
That was driven into deep right field. Looks like he'll stay fair. Hernandez goes over, ranging back, and he gets there. Excellent job by Hernandez to track that one and not lose it, as that one was dropping quickly.
It was a good job by LeMahieu to shorten up on 2 strikes. Just try to make contact. Obviously, we've seen the numbers before. He's a tremendous contact hitter, loves to put the ball in play. Gets a little unlucky there as the ball hangs up just long enough for Hernandez to make a play.
As Chase Anderson deals now to Brett Gardner with one away. He drives that one into deep right center field. Hernandez giving chase, and that one will get out of here. Brett Gardner with a 1-out solo shot here in the first inning. And we have ourselves a tied-up ball game.
Yeah, and this is what the Yankees did so well yesterday, putting the ball in play and making a lot of solid contact. We mentioned earlier in this series that Gardner has a whole lot of sneaky pop in that bat, and he shows it off right there, driving that one into the right center field seats.
The veteran, over 1,500 games played for the Yankees, and he shows off there why he's still in the league as he drills that one into right center field, into that short porch out there. So now Anderson reeling after that homer. He'll try to get settled now as he delivers his first pitch strike to Gleyber Torres, number 3 hitter, who had an excellent day yesterday.
Things do not get easier for Chase Anderson here. Gleyber Torres was one of the key factors in that Yankees win yesterday. Drove in the first couple of runs, and it ended up being all the Yankees needed.
Torres already a 2-time All-Star in his young career. And he's had a great start to this season, as I mentioned. Had 24 home runs in 2018, followed it up with 38 last season. So this guy can hit bombs, and there's another single right there for him as that one's down the third base line. It'll go into the corner, and that'll be a long single for Gleyber Torres here with 1 out.
That was a very good relay from Lourdes Gurriel Jr. That ball hit pretty hard, ripped down the left field line. As it bounced up against the wall, he did a great job to get it back in onto the infield and hold Gleyber Torres to just a single here.
So Torres yesterday went 2 for 3 with a walk and 2 RBI along with a stolen base. Played some great defense as well. So a good day for him yesterday, and he starts, on Thursday, I should say. Keep saying that, but he also is having a good Saturday so far. Now Gary Sanchez steps up to the plate and takes the first pitch ball, so it's a 1-0 count. Here's the pitch from Anderson. That one just misses high, so a hitter's count now to the catcher and the number 4 hitter for the Yankees today.
And Anderson can't afford to get complacent here. He's trying to pick away at the strike zone, and he's missed here. And it puts Gary Sanchez in a very favorable hitter's count. And the Jays, after scoring a run in the first, Anderson has already given it back and doesn't want it to get any bigger.
That one's in there for a strike. A good pitch there. It just graces the outside part of the strike zone. So Anderson, he's 32 years old. It's his 7th season in the big leagues, and his best season was in 2017, where he put up a 2.74 ERA, a 1.09 WHIP, and 141 innings pitched with Milwaukee. And he got a 3-year, $20.25 million deal after that. So he signed through 2020. He's got a team option in 2021. So the Blue Jays have some flexibility with him. Oh, as he misses outside there, Torres will look to advance to second, and he will, as Jansen unable to find it there until it was way back against the backstop. So a wild pitch scored there. It's a full count to Sanchez, and now a runner on second.
Anderson cannot find his groove after that home run from Brett Gardner. He hooks that breaking ball right into the dirt, gets by Jansen. It'll definitely be scored a wild pitch, as there's not much Jansen can do behind the plate there.
And Anderson with a tough start to this game. He's already allowed a run. He's in a full count now to the number 4 hitter, Sanchez. He's allowed a single to Torres. Trying to work through this inning, and now he issues a walk to Gary Sanchez. So first and second, 1 out, and then the double play is in effect. And Luke Voit will step up to the plate now.
Yeah, the double play in effect, but Luke Voit, a tremendous power hitter. We didn't see him 2 days ago as he was kept on the bench, but gets a chance to do something here.
So Anderson, in his first start, which was a 2-1 win against the Red Sox, he pitched 6 2/3, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts, and the win. Today, it's not looking like he'll be as successful as that one's hit down the first base line. And it's looking like he's going to drive in a couple more runs. Voit goes to second, Sanchez to third, Torres scores. It's a 2-1 ball game here in the Bronx.
Yeah, and as we saw earlier from Gleyber Torres, another ball ripped down that left field line. Gurriel does his best to get the relay back in, and he's able to hold Sanchez at third. Not exactly the fleetest of foot out there. Voit, also not exactly a speedster, has to hold up at first as that ball was relayed very well from the left fielder.
And Mike Tauchman steps in and takes the first pitch strike. With first and third, he's got an opportunity to drive in some more runs. He did that yesterday. He had a homer and put the Yankees added to their lead yesterday. And what a day it was for him. He played great defense as well.
Yeah, and got the first start of the season 2 days ago, and he gets to be back in the lineup here as gave Aaron Boone a chance to believe in him.
And he sprays that over in the left field. It'll drop in front of Gurriel, and another run scores as Sanchez comes in. It's a 3-1 ball game as Tauchman picks up an RBI.
Tauchman is feeling it so far this season. He's only gotten the 2 starts, as I mentioned. This ball, a little bit on the inside part of the plate, does well to keep his hands in and pokes that thing into left field, drives in another RBI, and it's looking like some early struggles again for the Blue Jays.
Yesterday, Tauchman went 2 for 4, had a 2-run homer in the 4th that, as I mentioned, added to the Yankees' lead, and a double in the 8th as well. So, we're seeing a really good start to the season for Tauchman, but a really good start in this game for the Yankees offense. They've scored 3 runs already in the first, just 1 out, and runners on first and second. Now Miguel Andujar, DHing once again today, steps to the plate, and he's in a 1-2 count now. Anderson really trying to battle here. He's already up to 24 pitches in this inning.
And the Jays fortunately had the off day yesterday, so the bullpen is a little bit more rested, but Charlie Montoya does not want to get them active this early in the ballgame.
That one swung on over to second. Biggio fields, throws to Bichette at short for 1. Can he go first for 2? And he does. So a double play gets Chase Anderson out of a very turbulent inning. But it's a 3-1 ball game here as we head to the second inning in New York. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Yankee Stadium here. And Travis Shaw steps in the 7 hole. And he'll be playing at first base once again for the Jays, as he's pretty much claimed that spot early on here. He's gotten most of the starts at first, and he fouls off that first pitch, strike one now.
Yeah, and Travis Shaw getting another start here after the game 2 days ago. Going to get most of the starts at first base because this Jays organization brought him in to do just that, fill the spot for a little bit, maybe while Rowdy Tellez gets a little bit more seasoning in AAA.
There's the 1-1. That one swung through there. It's a 1-2 count. Yeah, I agree with you about that. And I think one thing, too, is injuries obviously play a factor. But if Tellez is starting to lay it up at AAA, there will be a battle at first. But if Tellez isn't doing anything remarkable at AAA Buffalo for the Jays, I don't see why Travis Shaw can't man the first base spot for the Jays for the majority of this season. As he strikes out swinging there, the leadoff hitter in this inning is retired. Montgomery already 3 strikeouts in this one. An excellent pitch there.
That's not the start you wanted for the inning if you're the Blue Jays. You know, your starter goes out there, gives up 3 runs, and you got to start working your way back into this game through no fault of your own. A lot of those balls are hard hit. Defense made all the plays that they could behind him, and you have to get something going here early if you're the Jays because you don't want to fall behind.
Drury drives that one into deep left field. Tubman giving chase, but it is out of here. Brendan Drury, his second home run of the season, gets the Blue Jays on the board. And would you look at that? A solo shot. It's a 3-2 ball game now.
Well, ask and you shall receive. Brennan Drury in his old stomping grounds, the former New York Yankee, does a fantastic job. Goes up there, ambushes Montgomery, turns on this pitch and drives it into the left field seats. A tremendous swing, barreled that thing up. Obviously, Drury had a good game yesterday. Wasn't really a factor in the Blue Jays' loss, did all he could, but looking to make a difference with that solo shot. And now the Jays have cut that lead to just 1.
Yeah, and you need that after the kind of inning Chase Anderson just had. You know, get back on the board, get your bats feeling good again. It's clear that they're going to be able to score in this one. They've already gotten 2 runs. They just got to keep it up and hope that their pitcher, can start to stifle the Yankees lineup. But Drury yesterday went 1 for 3 with a double. But today, he's 1 for 1 with a homer and cuts this deficit to just 1, as you mentioned. And I keep saying yesterday. I got to say Thursday. That was Thursday's game. Danny Jansen, the number 9 hitter, a 1-1 count to him. As that one misses high, it's a 2-1 count now to Danny Jansen.
Things move fast in New York, man. Can't say I blame you.
For sure. As that one is drilled into deep center field. Gardner giving chase. Running back looks like he might have a read on it. Oh, no, he doesn't. Back-to-back home runs for the Blue Jays, and it's a 3-3 game.
This Blue Jays bottom of the order says, get on my back, I will carry you. Back-to-back home runs from Drury and Jansen in the 8 and 9 hole. Jansen going out there, trying to do something for his pitcher here, his battery mate, as he ties this thing up with a massive home run to dead center field. 439 feet. He got every stitch of that baseball.
He sure did, and you need that from your number 9 hitter. Last game, he was hitting 7th, and he went 1 for 4 with a single. But today, once again, just like Drury, he's 1 for 1 with the homer. So we're seeing really good production from the bottom of the lineup so far in this game. And here's the first pitch to Bichette, the leadoff hitter. He walked in the first to start what was a pretty productive inning for the Jays. They were able to throw a run on the board off a Randall Grichuk RBI single. They've already put on 2 runs on the board in this inning now. And we have the chance to see quite an offensive showcase in this ballgame for both teams.
Well, they call them the Bronx Bombers for a reason, but this Blue Jays lineup has a whole lot of pop in it, regardless of if you're in the 1 spot or the 9 spot. And Bo Bichette comes up here, and he's got a chance to make this back-to-back-to-back home runs.
Swing and missed on there. Montgomery pulls the strike on with that off-speed pitch and gets ahead in the count. 1-2 now.
And Bichette worked a walk in his last at-bat. Might not be so patient this time as he's down in a 1-2 count.
Montgomery, after giving up back-to-back home runs to the 8 and 9 hitters, now against the leadoff hitter Bichette, trying to calm down here. He's in a 2-2 count. And he's in the windup, and here's the pitch from Montgomery. That one is way inside. It's a full count now to Bichette, the leadoff hitter for the Jays today. And 1 out in this inning, and here's the payoff pitch. That one misses outside. Bichette, excellent take, and he gets his second walk of the game.
Well, these at-bats aren't going to affect his average as he's walked both times so far, but a great job of showing some patience and really being selective here for Bo Bichette. Obviously a rough start, but was sat in the game 2 days ago, off day yesterday. He's back in the lineup today, and he's already got himself on base twice here in the early going.
Well, we're seeing a different approach from Bichette at the plate. It looks like he wants to take more, wants to focus on plate discipline, swing less, kind of look for his pitch. And he's done a great job so far. When you're in the leadoff spot, your job is to get on base, right, and set the table for the top and middle part of the lineup, but he's doing that right now. 2 walks in this one. Cavan Biggio hitting 2 today. He's 0 for 1, and he's got a 2-0 count now. So Montgomery, he's missing his spots right now.
And back-to-back home runs will do that to your confidence. Montgomery hasn't really had that much experience at the big league level since 2017, and he's really feeling the effects of that so far early today.
2-1 count as Montgomery paints the corner there with that one. Looked like another off-speed pitch. So he's almost up to 50 pitches, Montgomery is. Here's his 47th of the game. That one misses low, and it's a 3-1 count to Biggio now.
And regardless of how tentative you might get, you have to come after hitters because guys at the big league level are going to take if it's not a good pitch to hit. More often than not, as we've seen from Teoscar Hernandez. But in a 3-1 count, Montgomery's really working himself into trouble, and these are avoidable mistakes from the young Yankees left-hander.
Run around first, 1 out, and now Biggio gets a walk. So after back-to-back home runs issued in this game, or in this inning rather, back-to-back walks now issued by Montgomery. So the last 4 hitters have all reached. Drury and Hansen went yard, but Montgomery in some real trouble here. And the Blue Jays trying to potentially take the lead here with Gurriel at the plate. And here's the first pitch of the at-bat. Gurriel fouls that one off. It's an 0-1 count now.
Yeah, and Gurriel came off of a very strong series against the Reds. Wasn't very productive yesterday, but definitely has the chance to do something for this Jays lineup here and break this 3-3 tie.
And a productive start to the year for Gurriel as he takes that one inside. It's a 1-1 count. So we're seeing Montgomery miss whether it's inside or low with a lot of these pitches. Now, I think some of that is probably by design. He's trying to get some whiff, but he's not getting it right now. The Blue Jays have a very experienced approach to the plate for such a young team as that one's hit over to first base. It's fielded and thrown to second for 1. Back to first, and they can't get the double play, but Bichette, Biggio rather, heading to second is thrown out on that one. And a good play by Voit coming in and going to second rather than trying to go to first.
Voit, a guy definitely known more so for his bat than for his defense, but looking like Matt Olson out there in the pinstripes as he makes a great job to turn his body and make a strong throw to second to get the guy and make this a one-out situation here for Montgomery and really help his pitcher out to try to avoid allowing any more runs to score in this inning.
So first and third, 2 out now. An 0-1 count to Guerrero Jr., who had a single in the first inning. And Guerrero Jr., a good start to his season as well. And last game, he went 1 for 4 with a single, or 1 for 3 rather, with a single and a walk. And let's see what he can do here against Montgomery, who's up past 50 pitches now. This will be his 54th. That one's driven into center field. Gardner coming in, looks like he's got a read on it. And he does. Takes a couple steps back and makes the play. So the Blue Jays, a very productive inning for them. They tied this ball game up. Whew, what an offensive showcase in this one. 3-3 as we head to the bottom of the second inning in the Bronx. And welcome back to Yankee Stadium. We appreciate you joining us for this ball game between the Yankees and the Blue Jays on the Virtual Jays Network. Jackson Farough alongside Liam Crothers. And Liam, I mean, it's been an offensive display for both teams. Neither starting pitcher, whether it's Chase Anderson or Jordan Montgomery, really having a good start to this ball game.
Yeah, and Urshela takes a strike. He's back in the lineup today after not being in that lineup 2 days ago. Maybe Aaron Boone going to look for a little bit more production here from Gio Urshela as he's got the start at third base.
Guys, I went over to short. Bichette fields and throws, so the leadoff hitter in this inning is retired. One away now.
Yeah, not a great job from Urshela. Not exactly battling for a spot here to stay in the Yankee lineup yesterday, or not 2 days ago. It was Tyler Wade manning the hot corner. He gets another start here, but this is another guy that's going to look to try to make a case for being in this lineup.
Clint Frazier takes first pitch in there for a strike. Yeah, Urshela is fascinating, the number 8 hitter. And, he actually was traded from Cleveland to Toronto back in May of 2018. And then August of that same year, the Yankees purchased him, as Frazier is in an 0-2 count now. But Urshela, he's 28 years old, and he hadn't really done much in the bigs. And then all of a sudden last year with the Yankees, he gets 132 games played with Andahar being injured early with that shoulder surgery. He was out for the year. So Urshela comes in, 21 home runs, 74 RBI, hit .314 with an .889 OPS. As Frazier strikes out there, Anderson now 2 up, 2 down in this inning so far, looking much more comfortable.
A tale of 2 innings. Anderson very shaky in that first, but he's coming after the hitters now. He's got a little bit more control on those pitches. He's a little bit more confident, and I'm sure Danny Jansen, after his home run in the last half of the inning, walked back into that dugout and gave a little pep talk to Chase Anderson, getting him back in the zone.
And, Anderson's a veteran guy. He's been around. He's no rookie. He's had good outings. He's had bad outings in his career. He understands, okay, it's 1 inning. I'm going to reset, come back out here and deliver. And he has so far at a 1-0 count now with 2 away and none on the base paths. To DJ LeMahieu, the number 1 hitter for the Yankees. Flew out to right field in his first at-bat. Hit a couple dangerous shots out to deep right field. And in this ballpark, anytime a ball is hit in that vicinity, it's got a chance to go out of the park.
Yeah, we saw it from Drury. Lined one right down the left field line, and it tucked itself into the seats.
That one's hit over in the left, but Gurriel doesn't really have to move much. He's able to make the play, so 3 up, 3 down. After a tumultuous first, a solid second for Anderson. Remains tied 3-3 in the Bronx. And welcome back to Yankee Stadium. We're going to see Randall Grichuk up next at the plate, number 5 hitter for the Blue Jays today. He was got a day off on Thursday in the opening game of this series, in which the Yankees won that contest 5-0 and dropped the Blue Jays to 6-2. But they're battling in this one, not rolling over this time, as the Yankees got out in front early in the first inning. They were able to put up 3 runs, but now, in the second inning, both Brandon Drury and Danny Jansen were able to hit homers. They had scored 1 run in the first, and so they tied the game up. It's a 3-3 ball game as Grichuk steps in now and is down in the count 0-2, but a crazy start to this one, and Grichuk with the RBI that put the Blue Jays on the board in the first, and so he's 1 for 1 on the day. As he takes that one low and inside, and it'll be a 1-2 count.
This Jays lineup has shown a whole lot of fight so far this year, Regardless of how many runs they're up or how many runs they're down, this lineup doesn't ever really look out of it, with the exception of 2 days ago.
1-2, Montgomery looking for the strikeout. Can't get it, though, as Grichuk pops that one up over towards second base. Looks like Voit has a read on it in the shift, and he does. 1 away now.
Yeah, and Voit stood over in what would be DJ LeMahieu's typical position, as these defenses in the American League and in the National League have the book on Grichuk. He's a guy who loves to pull the ball, and you almost saw it in his last at-bat as he drove a really good pitch right back up the middle, but obviously in a situation like this, you probably would have had someone there if there weren't any runners on.
So now Teoscar Hernandez steps in and fouls off that first pitch back into the screen, and in the first inning he struck out. 0-1 count now to the number 6 hitter playing right field today. He swings on that one, fouls it off right off the plate. So all of a sudden it's an 0-2 count now.
Yeah, and Hernandez has got himself in a little bit of trouble again. He struck out in his last at-bat, and as we talked about, it's something he's apt to do.
Oh, great take from Hernandez there. That one could have gone either way. Montgomery not getting the call as that off-speed pitch trickled in there, but just missed low. Here's the 1-2 pitch now. This time it's swung on, up the middle. LeMahieu fields in the shift, throws and makes the play. Great defense there from DJ LeMahieu.
We talked about the defense for the last batter, Randall Grichuk. We'll talk about it again. They have Hernandez played right back up the middle. In most situations, that chopper is going to get through and find a hole, but in this instance, you've got guys where you need them to be, and obviously this Yankee lineup not afraid of shifting against guys who they know are more likely than not going to pull the ball. And another shift here, so 3 straight. You had the 2 on the left side of the infield, and you get another on the right side.
Feels like there's a shift on almost every single batter in the modern era as Travis Shaw steps in, takes the first pitch ball. He's 0 for 1 on the day with a strikeout in the second, and a slow start to the season for him, just 3 for 25. But, with a veteran bat like that, you imagine it's just a matter of time.
Oh, of course, and they don't call him the mayor of Ding Dong City for nothing. He had a bit of a rough year last year, but Travis Shaw has definitely shown the potential to go yard when he needs to, and the Jays would like to have one right here.
No kidding, as that one's fouled off into the seats. It's a 1-2 count now. Shaw trying to keep this inning alive for the Blue Jays. So after some crazy scoring innings, things have settled down a little bit here, although it's still early on. 1-2 counts remains the same as Shaw is able to foul that one off and survive here. And here's the 1-2 pitch from Montgomery. He deals. And that one misses outside. Shaw with a good take there and evens up the count at 2.
Shaw showing a lot of veteran presence here. He's fouled off a couple of pitches. They were in the strike zone. He didn't want to go down swinging. And a good take there is they've already got Montgomery up here to 67 pitches in the third.
Oh, and that one's taken low and inside, just inside off the plate there. So it'll be a full count now to Travis Shaw. Man, these Blue Jays hitters are having some incredible plate discipline and taking some pitches that, I know I would sure swing at, and I think a lot of hitters would too. Shaw drills that one into deep right field. Frazier ranging back. He'll watch it go into the seats. The 3rd home run of the game for the Blue Jays. Shaw with his 2nd bomb of the season into the short right field porch in Yankee Stadium. The Blue Jays take the lead. It's 4-3.
Number 101 for the mayor of Ding Dong City. Travis Shaw got just about enough of that ball. It hung up there just a little bit longer than I think anyone was expecting. It might have looked like a playable ball there on the right side of the outfield. And Travis Shaw, after a tremendous at-bat, these Blue Jays hitters have capitalized with 3 solo home runs off of Montgomery here in the top of the 3rd.
And 2 outs. Now the base is clean for Brandon Drury, who also hit a home run back in the 2nd. Was able to cut the deficit to just 1. And then right after him, Danny Jansen hit a bomb to tie things up. So the Blue Jays take the lead now. Jordan Montgomery really struggling against the long balls. That one is drilled over into right field. Looks like Frazier has a beat on it, and he'll make the play. So that one stays in the park. But Travis Shaw puts the Jays in front on an absolute blast into right field. It's 4-3 Jays as we head to the bottom of the 3rd in the Bronx. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Yankee Stadium as Brett Gardner steps in to the box now. He hit a home run, a solo shot, one of the many players in this game to hit a home run so far, as it's a 4-3 ball game. And Gardner was the one who actually put the Yankees up their lead to 3. As that one's back into deep center field, Grichuk is there, makes the play. But, man, some deep shots in this game so far off of both pitchers.
It's one of those interesting situations here in Yankee Stadium. You have those incredibly short porches down both lines, but a 408 center field. Gardner got pretty much everything he could out of that ball. Hit it about 400 feet, and that's a home run in a whole lot of other ballparks, just not here on his home ground.
And that's the give and take of being a lefty at Yankee Stadium for sure, as that one's fouled off into the seats by Gleyber Torres, number 3 hitter for the Yankees today. They're just superstar shortstop phenom, and he had a single in the first, came around to score, and he drives that one, and we're seeing a lot. He fouls that one off past the third base line, but man, he's able to get a hold of a ball and pull it just inside the line near third base there for singles. We've seen him do it a couple times in this series already.
I don't know if you could see on that ball as it rolled foul, you could see Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was almost playing up against the line, so It's almost like Montoya has the book on Glaber, and he doesn't want him to beat him down that third base line again.
He fouls off that outside offering. It remains a 1-2 count. Torres trying to battle here with one away. Anderson up to 40 pitches now in the third inning here. He deals. And that one started in the zone and dropped, but Torres with a great take there. He evens up the count at 2. Here's Anderson into the windup. The 2-2 pitch. That one outside, and Torres swings and misses on it. So a strikeout for Chase Anderson, his second of the day. 2 out now.
And regardless of what situation you're in, it always feels good to strike out a hot hitter like Torres is. And Anderson has really bounced back well here after giving up a couple of runs in the first. He's had a great second and looks to close off this third.
Yeah, after allowing a Mike Tauchman single in the first inning that drove in a run, he got Anderhart ground to a double play to end the first, and then 3 up, 3 down in the second, and now 2 up, 2 down so far to start this inning. Looking to continue that here. An 0-1 count against Sanchez. Gets in there for an 0-2 count now.
Anderson 1 pitch away here from working through another 3 up, 3 down inning. And this will be his 45th pitch. That's something that the Jays would love to see, as you're going to save a couple of bullpen arms.
And the veteran right-hander looking to try to get into a groove here as he gets a 3-pitch strikeout on Gary Sanchez there. Wow, took him out to town on that. So, it remains a 4-3 ball game for the Jays. Now 6 up, 6 down in the last couple innings for Anderson. Perhaps starting to get into a groove in the Bronx. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Yankee Stadium. It's a 4-3 ball game, been a very eventful game so far. Lots of home runs, and one of them was hit by this man at the plate now, Danny Jansen, hitting number 9 and catching for the Blue Jays today. As that one gets in there for a first pitch ball, and Montgomery, he's been reeling a little bit in this one. High pitch count, struggling with command. And, he allowed a home run in the last inning. Other than that, he was able to do pretty well. As that one's driven into deep left field, Jansen taking a look at it, and that one will get out of here. Second home run of the day for Jansen, his third of the season. He drills that one 428 feet to deep left, and it's a 5-3 ball game here in the Bronx.
Jano so low. That ball was crushed. He knew it right off the bat. A second solo home run from Jansen here, as the 7, 8, and 9 hitters have combined for 4 home runs already in this game. Tremendous production from the bottom of the order for the Blue Jays.
And Charlie Montoya can't ask for much more than that. So Jansen 2 for 2 in the day with 2 solo home runs. And it's a 5-3 ball game. Montgomery really having some issues with the bottom of that lineup. And a 1-0 count now to Bo Bichette, who has 2 walks in this game. And starts off with a 1-0 count now. And that one gets in there for a strike. Montgomery was able to command that one there. So for Bo Bichette now, again, trying to get on base, trying to keep things going in this inning. And with none out, and as a number 1 hitter, you've got a great opportunity to set the table as he swings and misses on that high pitch there. It's a 1-2 count.
Yep, and something Bichette has to be aware of is you can't get tentative. You have to be able to compete in 1-2 counts.
As that one misses low there, so it evens up the count at 2. We're noticing these Blue Jays hitters really getting into some good counts here against Montgomery, forcing him to throw lots of pitches. Get into that bullpen, which they didn't really do yesterday. Only Ottavino and Chapman going for the Yankees as Bichette swings and misses there. And Sanchez will finish off the play by throwing him out. So 1 away now. 4th strikeout of the day for Montgomery. And now Kevin Biggio steps up to the plate. Playing second, he's 0 for 1 in this game. Flew out in the first, but got a walk in the second. We'll see what he can do here with 1 away. Takes a first pitch ball outside.
Bichette, obviously, he's worked those 2 walks in his first 2 at-bats. Not the result he's looking for. Still has to put the ball in play and maybe have a little bit of luck, but he's helping out his on-base percentage for sure.
Right about that. That one misses inside there. It's a 2-0 count now to Kevin Biggio. And, of course, this son of Craig Biggio. famous player in the big leagues for a long time. And he's not the only guy on this team who's the son of a famous star baseball player. Guerrero Jr., of course, the son of Vlad Guerrero Sr. And Bo Bichette's father, Dante Bichette, played in the big leagues as well. As that one is flown out into center field. 2 away now.
Yeah, you mentioned the family ties. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., another guy with some family in the big leagues. His brother, Yuli, former World Series champion with the Houston Astros. And as he comes up here, he's going to look to try to put together a better at-bat than he's had so far in his first 2 plate appearances.
We'll see what he can do here in his first 2 appearances. He's had a strikeout in the first and a fielder's choice, which resulted in and out, but him reaching to first in the second. We'll see what he can do now as he drives that one down the line, but it'll just sail foul.
And Gurriel's made some very solid contact so far, but just has to keep the ball in between those foul lines, and he's going to have some success for sure.
0-2 count to Gurriel. Takes that one inside. It's a 1-2 count now, and Gurriel looking to battle here with 2 out. And Jays have already scored 1 run in this inning, but they'd like to tack on another if they can and continue this crazy hitting spree as Montgomery is about to throw his 87th pitch of the game, trying to get through 4. 2-2 pitch now to Gurriel Jr. Swing and a miss there. Montgomery gets the strikeout. 2 strikeouts in this inning for him. But he did allow a leadoff home run to Danny Jansen. So it's a 5-3 ball game. Jays tack on a run as we head to the bottom of the 4th in the Bronx. Welcome back to Yankees Stadium, everyone. And Luke Voit will step in to the box here in the bottom of the 4th as the Yankees try to answer after Danny Jansen hit an absolute bomb. He's hit 2 on the day, 2 solo shots, and he steps back behind the plate to catch. But, lots of production from the bottom of the Jays lineup. It's a 5-3 ball game, and now the Yankees will look to break up this groove that Chase Anderson has all of a sudden found himself getting into, retiring the last 6 batters in a row.
Yeah, and he induced that double play, and since then he's had the 3 up, 3 down innings and consecutive innings, and his pitch count's only at 46. This will be 47.
And you mentioned that double play in the first. That actually makes things 7 batters in a row for him. We'll see if he can continue that now. An 0-2 count to Voit, number 5 hitter playing first today, as he grounds that one past the third base line. It remains an 0-2 count.
And you can definitely see some different body language so far from the Yankees. They looked way more comfortable in the first inning than they have in these recent innings from Anderson.
That was grounded over to short. Bichette able to field and throw. He's got lots of time. And the leadoff hitter in this inning, Luke Voit, is retired.
And Luke Voit is going to make contact most often. When he does, it's going to find its way into the seats. But Anderson did a great job there to get him to roll over one to short, and it's an easy play for Bo Bichette.
So Mike Tauchman, who on Thursday went 2 for 4 with a 2-run shot and a double, grounds that one over to first. And Shaw is there to field and make the play. 2 up, 2 down now in this inning as Tauchman is retired.
Anderson again showing flashes of what he put together in his last start. Only at 50 pitches here through 3 2/3 innings, and this is exactly what the Jays want to see from their starting rotation, and they've got it so far in the early going.
Yeah, and was able to cool off the flaming hot Mike Tauchman in the last at-bat, who in the first had a single and an RBI as well, but grounds out to first there. Now, Miguel Andujar steps in. He had a season-ending shoulder surgery last season, but he's DHing today. He DH'd on Thursday as well, but he flies out to right quickly in this at-bat, so another 3 up, 3 down inning for Chase Anderson. He's cruising now as we head to the 5th inning. 4, 5, 6 hitters up for the Jays. And now we're going to see a bullpen arm come out of the pen for the Yankees as it's Jonathan Loaizaga. Hopefully I said that properly. And Loaizaga will take on Guerrero Jr., Grichuk, and Hernandez. And it's his first appearance of the season. So, for anybody coming out of the bullpen for the Yankees, it's essentially, okay, give us as much as you can because we got a game tomorrow. Now, the nice thing for the Yankees is their bullpen is pretty fresh. Oh, my goodness, a tough start for the bullpen here. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has just drilled the first pitch Loaizaga throws 434 feet to left field. It's a 6-3 ball game.
Loaizaga's first pitch of his outing, first pitch of the season, is destroyed into the left field seats by Vladimir Guerrero Jr. This is a guy who likes to throw strikes. He was a strikeout artist through most of the first couple of seasons. Originally a starter in this Yankees farm system, converted to a bullpen arm, and maybe not so comfortable so far in his role that the Yankees management have tried to give him, as his first pitch is rocketed into the left field seats.
Yeah, tough start of the bullpen for him. That's his first pitch of the season, and it is drilled by Guerrero Jr., who is now 2 for 3 on the day with a single and a homer. And that'll bring up Randall Grichuk, who is 1 for 2 with a single and an RBI. Great start to the season for him, hitting 9 for 22, and he'll look to add to this Blue Jays lead. Man, they've been pouring on the offense in this game so far. Swing and miss there. It's an 0-2 count.
Yep, and with the questions surrounding the Yankees starting rotation with James Paxton being out, it was thought that Loaizaga would get to be that fifth guy. Obviously, it's Jordan Montgomery that Boone went with today, and Loaizaga trying to make a case for himself to be that guy at the bottom of the rotation, but obviously a first-pitch home run to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. to dig your team into a bigger hole is not the way you're going to impress Yankee management.
Yeah, Loaizaga now in a 1-2 count to Grichuk. Trying to retire this second batter he's faced now, and that one misses outside, way outside. It's 2-2 count. And I think one thing for anybody who comes out of this bullpen for the Yankees, as I was mentioning, try to do as much as you can, but also, don't let that leadoff hitter do damage, because we've seen it in the fourth inning. Leadoff hitter Jansen hit a home run, and now the leadoff hitter in this inning, Guerrero Jr., hits a home run. And the leadoff hitter in the first inning, Bichette, had a walk, which started a frenzy of runs, or actually only one run for the Jays, but nonetheless still some offense. So we're seeing the importance of trying to get these leadoff runners out. And Loaizaga not able to do it, but he gets a strikeout in the second batter he faces as Grichuk swings and misses there.
It's a good job to bounce back by Loaizaga. Works a good fastball off of a slider and a changeup. Obviously, that number one pitch is his number one pitch, and way to bounce back here against Randall Grichuk, and we'll look to do the same against Teoscar Hernandez.
Loaizaga now dealing that one inside. It's an 0-1 count. As they said, Hernandez went, so he's 0 for 2 in the day. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And that one just graces the bottom part of the zone, make that an 0-2 count. Loaizaga trying to get into a bit of a groove if he can. And that one misses low and inside. It's a 1-2 count. Hernandez with a strikeout in the first and grounded out to second in the third. As he drills that one into deep left center field, but Gardner stands right there and makes the play. He was already in the shift, really didn't have to move much there. Now 2 out.
And once again, the shift factors into this ball game. Gardner barely had to move, as you can see, takes maybe 3 or 4 steps over to his right, but with the way the analytics shape up in 2020, as I mentioned earlier in this series, it's almost like a manager can pinpoint where he wants his fielders to be according to who's up at the plate.
So a line drive out to center there for Hernandez. So now Travis Shaw, who's 1 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a home run, will step up to the plate, takes first pitch inside, ball 1.
Yeah, and Loaizaga is a young arm, so if he's able to work off of that solo home run and get these next 3 batters, something Aaron Boone is going to be very pleased with.
Loaizaga is offering misses there low, so it's a 2-0 count, a hitter's count to the number 7 hitter playing first base for the Blue Jays today. Takes that one in there, and it's a strike, so Loaizaga able to get back in the count. So as we enter now the bottom part of the lineup, and it has been absolutely lethal for the Blue Jays so far. It'll be interesting to see what they can do now third time through the order. They're already into the bullpen, as Jordan Montgomery really didn't have a good day, only went 4 innings, allowed 5 runs. So, and now he was able to retire the last 3 batters he faced to get out of the fourth, but not before allowing a home run to Danny Jansen in that last inning. So not a great outing for him, but we'll see what Loisiga and the rest of the Yankees bullpen can do in this one, as that one's grounded over to second. LeMahieu fields and quickly throws. So after allowing a leadoff home run in this inning to Guerrero Jr., Loisiga gets the next 3 batters out, but it remains a 6-3 game as we head to the bottom of the 5th in the Bronx. Hello, everyone. Welcome back on the Virtual Jays Network. My name is Jackson Farough. I'm joined by Liam Crothers in the broadcast booth today. And Gio Urshela steps up to the plate to lead off the 5th for the Yankees. He's 0 for 1 on the day. He grounded out to short in the 2nd. Had a decent start to the year, 7 for 27. Some newfound gold for the Yankees, as last season he really emerged. Was able to hit 21 home runs and the most games he's ever played in the big leagues. And now he takes that one inside. A 1-0 count to the number 8 hitter today.
Yeah, and he and Mike Tauchman are 2 guys that the Yankees have sort of stumbled across. They both put up some great numbers last season, and this Yankee ball club, with the injuries that they have, is going to look for more of the same from these guys.
Drives that one into deep center field. Grichuk giving chase. Looking back at the warning track, and he gets it. Excellent defensive play all the way at the warning track from Randall Grichuk.
Yeah, and Grichuk playing more center field this season as some changes have come to this Blue Jays lineup with Kevin Pillar a few years gone. We haven't really had that elite center field defense, but Grichuk does a nice job to just stay with that ball, track it as long as he could, and then turns on the warning track to make a play.
So now Clint Frazier playing right field and in the 9-hole today takes a vicious swing on that inside offering from Anderson there. So it's an 0-1 count as Frazier looking to battle here. He had a strikeout in the 2nd. Here's the 0-1. And that one driven over to second. Oh, Biggio has some trouble with it, but still able to field, and he makes the play. So after not fielding it cleanly, Biggio keeps it right in front of him, able to pick it up, not panic, just take a breath, and throws out a strike over to Shaw at first to get the out.
No panic over there at second base, if you'll pardon the pun. That ball took a little bit of a kick off the glove, and it was obvious with the throw. Shaw had to extend himself up a little bit into the air to ring that thing in, but Biggio bailed out by his good arm talent and a more than capable first baseman.
So a couple flyouts for DJ LeMahieu, who steps in. He's 0 for 2 on the day, but hitting number 1, he's had a good start to the season and not great history against Chase Anderson, as I detailed earlier in the game. But Anderson now in his 3rd time through the order, it always gets much more challenging. We'll see how he fares now against LeMahieu. 1-1 count.
Yeah, not only are these batters more familiar with what you're going to be throwing them and how you're going to be attacking them, but as you get up there in innings, the arm starts to feel a little bit looser, and sometimes that release point isn't exactly where you want it to be.
And that one dealt to LeMahieu as he flies that one into deep left center. Looks like Grichuk has a read on, and he does. So another 3-up, 3-down inning for Chase Anderson, who is absolutely cruising at the moment. As we head to the 6th, it's a 6-3 ball game in the Bronx. Welcome back to Yankee Stadium in the second game of a 3-game set between the Blue Jays and the Yankees. The Yankees took game 1 on Thursday 5-0, but now after an off day on this beautiful Saturday afternoon in the Bronx, it is a 6-3 ball game. Now, Liam, there have been a ton of solo bombs, and a lot of them in this game have been from the bottom of the lineup. The 7, 8, 9 hitters combining for, 4 solo shots so far in this game, and we're only in the 6th inning. As Drury gets a single now between the shortstop and the third baseman, it goes into the outfield to lead off single for Drury.
And conventional baseball wisdom says that your bottom of the order isn't going to be your set of strongest hitters, but as we're going to flash back to what Danny Jansen did in the 4th, he got every stitch of this baseball, and he knew it right off the bat. As you mentioned, 4 solo home runs from the bottom of the order, 7, 8, and 9. And all of these guys are making a case to move themselves up in the order and feature in some more prolific positions and get a few more opportunities with runners in scoring position.
As Jansen swings and misses on that one, and he's 2 for 2 with 2 solo shots in this game. And great start to the season for him. And, I should mention, he's got a chance at the hat trick here in terms of home runs, which would be awesome. He's done a great job catching as well. Some great starts from some new starting pitchers to this Blue Jays team, and I think part of that, you have to give some credit to Danny Jansen. He's helping these pitchers get acclimated early on in the season, and he's in a 1-2 count now.
Jansen has featured in more games so far than Reese McGuire has. You know, Charlie Montoya building that rapport between battery mates and Danny Jansen, as we saw earlier last season and throughout the year. He's a very capable defender.
Sure is, as he hits that one up the middle. Torres fields, throws to LeMahieu at second for 1, and over to first for 2. An excellent flip there from Torres. I shouldn't say throw. He kind of fielded it, ranging to his left, and then just kind of flipped it out of his glove right to LeMahieu at second. An excellent defensive play.
And Torres has featured more in this game with his glove than his bat, as we saw on Thursday. But obviously, you can't hit a home run every time up, and Jansen probably won't be too frustrated with his day so far. But that's another opportunity for the Jays where you could have put some runs on the board, and against this Yankee lineup that's never really out of it, those are some opportunities that you might look back on later in this game.
As Jansen grounds with a double play, so 2 out, nobody on for Bo Bichette, who is 0 for 1 in this game with a couple walks. As Loaizaga back out there in this inning, and after allowing a single, he gets the double play. So he's doing a decent job so far, being able to at least stifle this Blue Jays lineup a little bit. As that one softly ground over to Urshela at third, and he can't field it cleanly. It's an infield error for Urshela, and Bo Bichette reaches there.
And sometimes you just need a bounce to go your way. Baseball is one of those sports where if you find yourself in a bit of a ditch, sometimes all it takes is a bounce here off the grass or maybe a weird turn from the ball. And Bichette has already been on base twice today, and while that error won't help his average or his on-base percentage, it's got to feel good to finally get a bounce to go your way.
Yeah, and that was just a slow grounder up the third base line. Looked like somewhat of a routine play, but honestly, Bichette's a fast runner, so Urshela knows he had that pressure. He was on the run and tries to field it off a hop and just handcuffs him. That happens.
Yeah, and Urshela, maybe a little bit cold. Didn't play in the game on Thursday and got the off day yesterday, so just has to get a little bit reacclimated to his position over there at third.
1-1 count to Kevin Biggio as he drills that one, but it is foul. So a 1-2 count, but if there's a guy who, with all these home runs happening, I'm a little surprised Kevin Biggio hasn't joined that fray yet. A left-handed hitter in this ballpark. He's got an excellent swing, and has a decent opportunity here in the 2-hole, but he is 0 for 2 on the day with a walk. He had an off day on Thursday. We'll see what he can do here now in a 2-2 count to Loaizaga, trying to keep this inning alive for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, and Loaizaga trying to find his rhythm here. Gave up that home run to Guerrero Jr. with his first pitch of the season, but since then hasn't really looked the most comfortable. But as a young pitcher, it's important to try to find a groove.
As Biggio flies out to center there, Gardner making the play, so Loaizaga is able to get through that inning, and we head to the bottom of the 6th. It remains a 6-3 ball game in the Bronx. And welcome back to Yankee Stadium, and we have a little flashback now to the first inning. Brett Gardner, the number 2 hitter for the Yankees today, absolutely drilled that solo shot into the short porch in right. He's done that many times in his career, and he does it again there. And so in the third, he flew out to center, but we'll see if he can do that again off of Chase Anderson, who now throws his 60th pitch of the game and kicks things off in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, and what the box score won't show you is that Gardner hit that thing about as hard as he could, and that traveled about 400 feet, but with 408 in dead center field here at Yankee Stadium, just couldn't get another one to find its way into the seats.
Check swing there. They say he went, so it's a 1-1 count. And Gardner, 36 years old. He's turning 37 in August. He's a free agent after this season. Won a Gold Glove in 2016. He was an All-Star in 2015. And last year had his best offensive season at the age of, 35, and when he turned 36, is he had 28 home runs, 74 RBI, and 829 OPS, which are all career highs for him. As he drills that one foul, it's a 2-2 count now.
And he's really one of the remnants of a bygone era for this Yankee ball club. He played with guys like Mariano Rivera and Derek Jeter, obviously now with guys like Stanton and Tauchman in the lineup. He's really changed his role from that young kid being mentored by the veteran pinstripes into the guy that those young guys are going to go to for some guidance.
And in that cluttered outfield, I mean, with Judge and Stanton out with injuries, as well as Aaron Hicks, Gardner has a regular spot in this lineup, and you're not mad about that if you're Aaron Boone by any means. Gardner, a very productive hitter, as we saw in the first and over the course of his career. But with him being a free agent at the end of the year and turning 37 in August, I'd imagine this is most likely his final season in the pinstripes. As that one misses there, and it's a walk to Brett Gardner. So he leads things off in a great fashion, getting a walk off Chase Anderson. So that breaks up the streak that Anderson had. He had 13 up and 13 down. But now that is done after he issues a leadoff walk to Gardner, the number 2 hitter. Now Gleyber Torres steps up to the plate. He's 1 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a single. And he'll try to mount a comeback here for the Yankees.
And Torres did just about everything he could in this last game. A few hits, few RBIs, he had a stolen base, also scored a run, and flashed the leather a little bit as well. He's featured more so with the glove so far today, but he's going to look to drive in Brett Gardner here, at least get him into favorable position.
Notes it over to Bichette, goes to second for 1 and a first for 2. So the double play wipes out the leadoff walk. Now all of a sudden there's 2 away, and the bases are clean for Chase Anderson. A great defensive job by Bichette and Biggio there.
The commentator's curse is strong in New York. Gleyber, I would like to sincerely apologize. I mentioned that he might want to get something going, but very quickly here, Anderson has worked his way into having 2 outs, and having only thrown 68 pitches so far through 5 2/3, he's been cruising so far since that first inning.
And really good defense behind him, right? Whether it's in the outfield, Gurriel's looked very good in left field, being able to hold runners at bay with his incredible arm and his range. Bichette's looked great at short with his excellent hands, and even Kevin Biggio, I should say, has been making some excellent plays. All around the diamond, good defense for the Jays so far in this one. I don't want to jinx them. As Gary Sanchez steps in, and he struck out in his last appearance back in the 3rd. 2-0 count now.
Some contrast here from the catchers for this game. Coming into the season, obviously, you expect Gary Sanchez to put up some big home run numbers, but it's been his opposite number, Danny Jansen, who's hitting 9th in the Blue Jays lineup, who's already gone yard today twice for 2 solo home runs.
Sanchez in his 5th year in the bigs, and a 2-time All-Star, and Silver Slugger in 2017. Yeah, I mean, if you told me before this game that, okay, one of the catchers is going to hit 2 solo shots in his first 2 at-bats, I'd probably put money on Gary Sanchez because he hit 34 home runs last year. As he drills that one over into right field, it'll be down for a base hit. So a 2-out single for Gary Sanchez. A good little hit there off the end of the bat.
And that's the risk you take when you decide to play the defense in the overshift. Not sure if Kevin Biggio would have been able to get to that ball. He is a capable defender, but a great job by Sanchez to just shorten up and poke it through the other side of the infield.
So now 1 on and 2 out as Luke Voit takes a first pitch ball. He's 1 for 2 on the day with a single and an RBI. So we'll see what he can do now up at the plate. As that one is in there for a strike, evens up the count at 1. Chase Anderson now up to 73 pitches. Had as I mentioned, a tough first inning, but after that, he's looked pretty good. That one is driven into left field, though, so all of a sudden, first and second, 2 out, as Anderson trying to survive through this inning with Luke Voit getting his 2nd single of the day.
Well, you're only ever 1 pitch from getting out of it, and with 2 outs, Anderson has found himself in a little bit of trouble here with the 2 back-to-back singles, and Mike Tauchman coming up here at a big day on Thursday is going to look to make a dent in this lead.
Tauchman steps in, takes the first pitch strike. He also had a single and RBI and has 1 for 2 in this game so far. Had a home run in the last game, and looks like he's the heir apparent to at the outfield spot that Brett Gardner currently occupies, but they're both in the lineup today with a lot of injuries to the Yankees, as we've discussed lots over the course of this series so far. A 1-1 count to Tauchman as he looks to keep this inning going, and he is the tying run after all at the plate.
Yeah, and, obviously the expression "a bloop and a blast" will hold true. 2 decent singles, but a blast here from Tauchman would tie this game up in the bottom of the 6th.
See what he can do here. That one sneaks into the bottom right corner of the plate. Chase Anderson just paints it there. Evens up the count at 2 now. And he'll try to get out of this inning. He deals. And that one swung on and fouled off. Tauchman staying alive.
Yeah, and that last pitch from Anderson was a great job. He, through a little bit of deception there, he decided to change speeds.
Gets Tauchman to swing past that one there. Jansen throws to first to finish off the play. So after allowing a walk and a couple singles in this inning, Anderson is able to get out of it. The score remains 6-3 as we head to the 7th in the Bronx. As we settle now into the top of the 7th inning, Jonathan Loaisiga will come out for now to begin his 3rd inning of work here. And he's looked okay. He allowed a home run to Guerrero Jr. actually to start his season back in the 5th. But after that, he's issued a single to Drury, or he allowed a single to Drury in the 6th. Bichette reached on an error in the 6th as well, but now he'll try to keep things going here in the 7th, trying to potentially mount a clean inning. But a 3-0 count to Gurriel Jr., so not the great start to this inning for Loaisiga, as he's trying to avoid he's trying to avoid giving up a leadoff walk to Gurriel Jr. Here's the pitch. And that one gets in there for a strike, gets him in the count. It's a 3-1 count now.
And he's got to try to battle back here, because if Gurriel finds his way on, the guy who burned him, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., will be coming up to the plate.
And that one fouled off past the first base line, so it's a full count. Gurriel battling now. And he's going to have to here in a full count, leading things off in the 7th, trying to maybe generate some more offense. And he swings and hits that one right back up the middle into center field for a base hit to lead things off in the 7th for the Blue Jays.
One of the sweetest sounds in baseball is when that pitch gets barreled up. As you can see here, Loaisiga throws one low and away, tries to get Gurriel to roll over it, but he gets the barrel of the bat down and drives it right back up the middle. And with one man on here, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. steps up with a chance to drive in a couple more runs with a swing very similar to what he did in his first at-bat against Loaisiga.
Yeah, so he only needed to see one pitch from Loaisiga back in the 5th, and he took him yard. And this time he sprays that one foul into the right field, past the right field side into the seats, but an 0-1 count to Guerrero Jr., who's 2 for 3 on the day with a single and a home run. Loaisiga up to 37 pitches. This will be number 30 AZ. Gets a swing and a miss from Guerrero Jr. there. It's an 0-2 count.
Jr. has swung on every pitch that he's seen so far from Loaisiga, and he's looked a little bit more comfortable in his first at-bat against him, obviously with the first pitch home run, but he's got a battle here, down 0-2.
And we'll see what he can do now as that one misses outside. So Guerrero Jr. staying alive in this count, 1-2 now. And Loaisiga looking to navigate around, allowing a leadoff single in this inning to Gurriel Jr., and he misses low and inside there, evens up the count at 2. So Guerrero Jr. trying to work his way back into this count after starting off 0-2. We'll see what he can do here. In the pitch. That one swung on and up over to first. Voit Fields throws to second for 1, back to first for 2. So Guerrero Jr. grounds him in a double play. Doesn't have the same fate as he did in his first at-bat against Loaisiga. Some good defense from the Yankees.
And another good play there on the right side of the infield from Luke Voit. Obviously had the field and throw to second his first time around, and this time he makes a great play to scoop that thing up and fire a strike over to second before navigating his way back to first to allow for the double play.
Yeah, really good defensive awareness from Luke Voit there. He's able to field. He knows he's going to second. He gets it, and then he hauls himself all the way back to first and is able to finish off the double play. No pitcher's assistance needed there. So it's a double play. So the bases are clear now for Randall Grichuk, who's 1 for 3 on the day. He had a single back in the first, an RBI, but struck out in his last appearance against Loisaga. But in a 2-0 count now.
Yeah, and this is the kind of count that Grichuk wants to find himself in and has found himself in the early going so far. He's going to look to capitalize here.
Swings on that one, and it's a single into right field for Grichuk. And he reaches with 2 out. Just a beautiful swing on that one.
And your conventional baseball wisdom is going to say that Grichuk is going to pull the ball, but obviously the right side of the outfield is wide open as they've shifted over to the left, and he's done a great job so far this year of squaring the ball up and spraying it to all fields.
You're right about that as Hernandez swings on that first pitch, a vicious swing, trying to pull that one, but it's an 0-1 count with Grichuk at first and 2 away. Still a 6-3 ball game here in the Bronx. Jackson Farough alongside Liam Crothers on the Virtual Jays Network. Top 7, and Hernandez back-to-back swings on that low pitch. Loisaga's really getting him with the off-speed right now.
Yeah, and Hernandez is one of the guys that's struggled so far against the Yankees in this game. Obviously 0 for 3, and with a couple of big swings, he finds himself down 0-2.
Had a good series versus the Reds. Let's see what he can do in this at bat as he grounds that one up over Loisaga Will Field right in front of the mound and is able to throw Hernandez out. So Loisaga gets through 3 innings of work. He's only allowed 1 run. It remains a 6-3 ball game as we stretch in New York. Welcome back to Yankee Stadium. Now Justin Miller will step in for his 3rd appearance of the season, and those 2 appearances prior have amounted to 1 inning of work in total, 3 outs. He'll face the 7-8-9 hitters for the Yankees, and you could have, if you're trying Montoya, you could have left Chase Anderson in. He was starting to deal. Ran into some issues in the 6th. His pitch count was getting up there. He got through 6. So I guess probably doing the safe thing by, getting the bullpen to get in the game here as Miller gets Andahar to ground out over to second. So 1 away now.
Well, it's important in a young season to let your pitchers know that you have confidence in them. The number that stuck out to you was that 18 ERA from Justin Miller and only the 1 inning pitched. And here in a 3-run game, Montoya wants to tell Miller that he believes in his stuff, that he believes he can be an effective arm out of the bullpen for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, and he's giving him a great opportunity to do so here. You wonder if maybe a guy like Shinya Yamaguchi would slide in, but he pitched on Thursday, so why not give him some more time off? And you need to see what you have out of some of these relievers. And we saw Montoya do that last year where he gave a lot of the new relievers a lot of chances early on to see what they can do, see what they're capable of. And now he's giving Justin Miller, a pretty high leverage 7th inning here as he tries to get through this game. And that one's fouled off and hits the gate in front of the dugout of the Yankees there. So it's a 1-2 count. Miller only 4 pitches in, and he's 1 pitch away from all of a sudden having 2 out already.
Well, you have all that time off to think, and Miller has probably been telling himself that the next time he gets an opportunity, he's going to do his best to not let it slip away.
And he's got the 7-8-9 hitters up, so a decent situation for him as he deals to Urshela. That one misses outside, and good take from Urshela there. It's a 2-2 count now. Miller looking to get 2 straight batters out as he misses high there. So 2 pitches now missing outside, and that one was high as well. So Urshela, who's 0 for 2, is going to try to grind something out here with 1 away. And that one gets in there for a strike. Urshela was looking for the walk, and He has a little chat with the umpire now, but not sure how you can argue that one. That was pretty clearly in the zone.
Urshela was in take mode there, trying to get something started with a walk with what would have been one out, but now, because of his complacency, Miller's got his way almost through this inning, and it'll be Clint Frazier, who has had a rough day so far at the plate.
Drills that one into deep left center field. The crowd is on their feet. Will it reach the seats? It will. Look at that, Liam. The announcer's curse continues. Clint Frazier with his first home run of the season, his first hit of this ball game, and all of a sudden it's a 6-for-4 game here as the Yankees start to dig into that deficit.
I think for future reference, I'm just going to stop talking when these batters start to come up, as that's twice now that the commentator's curse has come into effect. Justin Miller, I am sincerely sorry, but Clint Frazier, as we mentioned on Thursday, is a guy who's playing pissed off, a guy trying to find his way back into this Yankees lineup consistently, and that is a great way to get manager Aaron Boone's attention.
And if you're Justin Miller here, you can't let that faze you, because Miller did a great job of getting Andujar on a ground out in the first pitch, and Urshela on a strikeout looking. Okay, he allows a homer to Frazier. It wasn't the best location for a ball, but it was also well hit. And now he's got an opportunity with DJ LeMahieu, who's 0 for 3 on the day, and a right-handed hitter at the plate. You got to get this out here. And he does, as LeMahieu lines out to Biggio there. So Justin Miller gets through the inning after allowing one home run as we head to the 8th. It's a 6-4 ball game. The Yankees tack on a run. And welcome back to the Bronx. It's been a crazy game. Lots of hits, lots of home runs. And now Adam Ottavino, who we saw on Thursday in the 8th, will come back in the 8th, trying to keep this game, keep this deficit for the Yankees just a 2-run deficit, as he'll take on the 7, 8, 9 hitters.
Ottavino made his first appearance of the season on Thursday, looked great, got 2 strikeouts. He's got that tremendous wipeout slider that we've seen from him over the years, and he's going to look to have it working as he tries to shut down this bottom of the order, which has had so much success so far today.
7 home runs hit by these two teams combined in this game so far, and it's not over yet. The latest one being a Clint Frazier 2-out bomb in the 7th off Justin Miller that gave the Yankees their 4th run of the game and cut their deficit down to just 2. It's a 2-0 count now to Travis Shaw, as he'll try to potentially get that run back. He also hit a home run in the 3rd inning. He's 1 for 3 on the day, and we'll see what he can do here leading off the 8th for the Jays. And he's in a 3-0 count now, so a good opportunity to get on here against Ottavino, who's, as you mentioned on Thursday, Liam, a very funny quote for Ottavino. He said he could have... Did he say he could strike out Babe Ruth or just get him out?
No, he said he would strike out Babe Ruth if he ever faced him.
Wow. And he's wearing the number 0 in Yankee Stadium, so certainly not lacking confidence, Ottavino, and he's in a 3-1 count to Shaw here, the lefty. And we'll see what Shaw can do at the plate, trying to spark some more offense for the Jays, who've had lots of it in this one. And he'll get a leadoff walk off Ottavino. So now it'll be Brandon Drury, who has a single. He had a single in his last at-bat in the 6th, but he hit a homer in the 2nd, and he's DHing today.
Well, Ottavino said that he would strike out Babe Ruth, but I don't think he foresaw himself walking Travis Shaw to bring up a guy like this. Brandon Drury, who's had a pretty good series so far. He had a double on Thursday. He's got a solo shot in this one, and with this game being as close as it is, I'm sure Ottavino is going to try to work that slider a little bit more effectively, try to find the zone a little bit more, and maybe induce a ground ball to get 2 quick outs here.
4th at-bat of the game for the number 8 hitter, Drury. We'll see what he's got in store for us here, as that one is low and inside there, but he just paints the bottom part of the plate, so it's 0-1 as we see Jonathan Holder and Zach Britton warming in case Ottavino runs into some trouble in the 8th. And we'll see what he's got here against the bottom of the lineup. That's been very effective for the Jays today, as we've talked about. That one misses inside 1-1. So Ottavino 7 pitches now and 0 out still, as he'll try to keep the Jays at 6 runs in this ball game as he deals. And that one misses low there. Ottavino not really being able to hit his spots at the moment.
Ottavino having a rougher time than he did on Thursday. Obviously, we mentioned he got 2 quick strikeouts and worked a perfect inning. But with a walk to Travis Shaw and a 2-1 count to Brandon Drury, he's got to look to make a couple of really, really important pitches.
2-1 count to Drury, the number 8 hitter, as he swings and misses on that pitch in the zone and evens up the count at 2. Ottavino looking to get the first out of the 8th inning here. He gets set, and here's the pitch. That one misses just outside. A great take with 2 strikes from Drury, and it's a full count now. And Ottavino trying to get the first out of the 8th, as I mentioned. Here's the pitch. That one swung on into left field, and it's a base hit. And it's fielded by Tauchman there, so now 2 on and none out against Ottavino, and the Blue Jays looking to strike and potentially build that lead back up.
And a great at-bat by Drury, but you know that Ottavino is going to be a little bit PO'd at the umpire, as the pitch previous to that single looked to have caught the outside of the zone, but after a shaky start, it's not a call that you're going to get after you walk the leadoff batter.
And that one's inside to Jansen, and Ottavino really struggling with command here, as we've been mentioning. So Jansen, what a day for him. 2 home runs. Now, he did ground in a double play in the 6th in his last at-bat, but still an incredible day for him. He's still got a chance to get the hat trick. And here's the 1-0 pitch. That one's swinging a miss there. It evens up the count at 1.
And a hat trick here would blow this game wide open, because there's a big difference in baseball between coming back from 2 runs and coming back from 5 runs.
Yeah, and it would change Charlie Montoya's bullpen strategy as well, right? I mean, you're going to be using your setup man and your closer if the score remains 6-4, or even if it gets to 7-4. But if Jansen or one of these other Blue Jays hitters can knock this game open, all of a sudden you could potentially preserve some of your bullpen for tomorrow and the series against Philly, which starts Monday. And Bo Bichette on deck, but Danny Jansen in a 3-1 count with runners on first and second and none out, looking to reach here. Ottavino deals, swing and a miss there, and he gets back in the count, now full to Danny Jansen.
That was a big cut from Jansen. He was looking to drive that thing into the seats.
He wasn't able to do it there. Let's see what he can do now. And he swings and misses on that one as well. It was low and outside. Ottavino gets his first strikeout of this appearance, a much-needed one, now 1 out.
And that's the breaking ball that he uses so effectively. It hangs in the zone just long enough, and at the time the batter decides to commit to it, it drops hard off the table away from these right-handed hitters.
So now Bo Bichette with runners on first and second and 1 out. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Now he hit into an error in the 6th, and that ball was hit over to the third base side, and now he had a walk in the first and a walk in the second, and now he's going to try to potentially score some runs. He hits that one over to second. It's thrown to Torres at short, gets 1 and to first for 2. So a double play recorded there, a much needed one for Ottavino. He gets out of this inning. It remains a 6-4 ball game as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Hello everyone and welcome back. So now we're going to see the Blue Jays setup man for his 4th appearance and his 4th inning of work. And it's Anthony Bass in his first year with the Blue Jays, coming over from Seattle last season. Or in this season, he played for Seattle last season, and we're going to see what he can do. He's looked pretty good this season so far, and we'll see what he can get up to today in this inning as he tries to keep the Yankees down by 2. But he'll have the 2-3-4 hitters. No easy task here.
Yeah, and Bass, a very effective setup arm. He spent some time as a closer, spent some time as a middle reliever, but with an arm like Ken Giles as the closer for this Blue Jays ball club, it's going to be important for Bass to work in situations where you have to save some runs here.
And a great opportunity for Bass, right? I mean, to be a setup man in a bullpen consistently in the major leagues. He's looked good so far, so he holds on to that job for now. But, if he can continue that, this is a guy who could be able to cash in at season's end, but also trying to build up a good career here. And he's had a good start so far. He's had a bit of a journeyman. He spent time with the Cubs. He spent time with Seattle, as I mentioned. He's trying to stick here with the Blue Jays in a bullpen where there's a lot of opportunity. We'll see what he can do. 2-2 count to Gardner, who fouls that one off.
Yeah, and Sergio Romo is a great case for a guy who started his career as a setup man, and then when Brian Wilson went down with the Giants, he moved into that role and has been an effective closer ever since.
Good comparison there. As that one's hit over to third, Guerrero fields and throws, so the leadoff hitter, Gardner, is retired in the 8th.
Yeah, and that's exactly what you want if you're this Blue Jays ball club, because Bass comes in and, early on we saw some shaky starts from both pitchers, and we've seen a whole lot of solo home runs so far, but Bass is going to try to keep this ball game at 2 runs to allow Ken Giles to come in the 9th, if he's needed, of course.
That last part of what you said, very important, if he is needed. And if Bass can do his job here, he's gotten Brett Gardner to ground out to third. We'll see what he can do now against Gleyber Torres, the young phenom. 1 for 3 on the day, grounded with a double play in his last at-bat in the 6th, but he had a single down the third base line in the first. He's done that a couple times this series. And he's in an 0-2 count now against Bass. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss there. 3 pitches only needed to get Torres out. Bass with retiring the first 2 batters he faces here in the 8th.
It's a very effective breaking ball from Bass. That thing comes down over the top and cuts hard away from that right-handed bat of Gleyber Torres. Torres had a lot of success in the first game on Thursday. Hasn't had the same measure of success, and that's a big reason why the Yankees are trailing in this game.
Now with nobody on, Gary Sanchez grounds that one over to third. Guerrero fields. And he's able to throw him out. So 3 up, 3 down for Bass in the 8th. A great job for him there. A great outing. And it remains a 6-4 ball game. We head to the 9th in the Bronx. Well, and welcome back to Yankee Stadium. Now we'll see another reliever after Adam Ottavino pitched in the 7th. We'll see Jonathan Holder, who we haven't seen this series so far. And he pitched 2 innings in 1 appearance this season. And now he'll go up against the 2-3-4 hitters for the Blue Jays. Now, he starts off with having to face a lefty, which is no easy task, especially in Yankee Stadium. But he'll have Gurriel Jr. and Guerrero Jr., the 2 righties, afterwards. So I think this is probably the hardest batter, if you can even say that, in the form of Cavan Biggio for Holder here. 1-0 counts, and that one is fouled off and leaving up the count at 1 for Holder here.
Yeah, and at this time last season, it's likely that we would have seen Zach Britton come in to face the lefty in Biggio, and then Holder would have come in to face the 2 righties, but because of the 3-batter minimum or finish an inning rule, Holder's going to have to learn to be more effective against lefties, as it's likely that he'll face 1, if not 2, in some of his outings this season.
Yeah, and I think that new rule, what it does is it may take some relievers' jobs, but I think it just forces relievers to be better, right? It forces you to have to go against, lefties and righties. A left-handed pitcher can't just rely on his stuff anymore. He's got to be able to command very effectively as well. A 2-2 count to the lefty Biggio. That one misses outside. It's a full count with Gurriel Jr. on deck.
Yeah, and Holder in a very tough position here because it's not exactly closing the game, but it's keeping the game right where it is to give your bats a chance.
And he gets a leadoff strikeout as Cavan Biggio swings and misses on that off-speed pitch there. So Holder strikes out the first batter he faces, the only lefty he needs to face if he does what he wants to do, which is get 3 straight batters out. He'll now have 2 straight righties, Gurriel Jr. and Guerrero Jr., as the Jays look to add on to their 2-run lead.
Yeah, and Sessa is going to fill in that right side of the Yankees bullpen. As I don't think Aaron Boone wants to go back to his bullpen again in this game, but just a precaution, if he needs to, if Holder starts to run into some trouble, he has the lefty and the righty option.
And a very healthy bullpen for both teams, but more specifically the Yankees, who won 5-0 on Thursday, and then obviously both teams had the off day yesterday. So it's a 1-1 count to Gurriel Jr., who's 1 for 4 in the day, a couple strikeouts. Granted, a fielder's choice in the second, and he was able to reach, and a single in the seventh in his last at-bat. We'll see what he's got against Holder here in a 1-2 count, looking to get on. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one's fouled off, so it'll remain a 1-2 count. Holder looking for back-to-back strikeouts, potentially, to start this inning. We'll see if he can do it here. He's got a good count to do it. And he deals. Swing and a miss there. Back-to-back strikeouts on the first two hitters he sees in the ninth. 2 away now.
And Holder showing some emotion on the mound. Back-to-back strikeouts in a big situation. Couldn't be more pleased with himself, but he's got a big test in the right-handed bat of Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who's already gone deep today.
Yeah, grounded into a double play in his last at-bat in the seventh. But yes, prior to that, in the fifth, he hit a bomb. And is this another one? He's trying to wave it over. If it's fair, it's gone. And it looks like it'll be foul. So a very close call there. Man, Guerrero Jr., I count that's his third deep shot to left. 2 of them have gone foul, but one of them got out of the park. He's had some big contact today. And there's another deep shot in the left. It's looking like this one's a little too high. It'll stay in the park. Tuckman has a read on it, but man, what a close call there. But 3 up, 3 down, 4 Holder in the ninth, so it's closing time in the Bronx for the Jays. We'll see Hunter Miles Giles against Voit, Tuckman, and Andahar here in the bottom of the ninth. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Yankee Stadium for the bottom of the ninth as the Yankees look to mount a bit of a rally here. It's a 6-4 ball game. We're going to see Ken Giles for his 5th appearance of the season. He's looked great. 4 strikeouts already in this young season, and 3 saves for him so far. He's looked magnificent. He's been magnificent in the pen pretty much since he got to Toronto. And he's going to face Voit, Tuckman, and Andahar, trying to even up this series for the Blue Jays as they dropped the first game on Thursday, 5-0, which dropped their record to 6-2. But a Ken Giles save here would bring them, give them another win in the W column and put them up to 7-2 and continue this great start to the season and set up a good rubber match tomorrow.
Yeah, and they're at the top of the division so far, and the Yankees are right behind them, so these games early are very big.
Exactly. You know, the games in the standings matter the same in April as they do in August, even though it may not feel like it. They hold the same weight. And it's a 2-0 count to Luke Voit. Number 5 hitter today, playing first, and he swings and misses. Took a big cut on that one.
Voit has had a good game so far. He's got 2 singles on the day. He's worked very effectively on that right side of the infield at first base, but he's got to look to produce here in the bottom of the ninth against one of the premier closers in the league.
In a 2-1 count now, and he checks his swing, but the pitch was right up Yonge Street there, so it'll even up the count at 2, or maybe I should say Madison Avenue, since we're in New York. It's a 2-2 count as Luke Voit looks to generate some offense and start the rally for the Yankees. Let's see what he can do. That one misses outside. It's a full count.
I think here you gas it up and you throw it as hard as you possibly can. On a 3-2 count in the bottom of the ninth, the fans want to see a battle, and Giles throwing 100 miles an hour is a battle.
That one just misses outside. A great take from Voit. And now the leadoff runner in the ninth for the Yankees reaches. So the rally caps are out here in the Bronx. And, I mean, that's so important, isn't it, Liam, for the leadoff hitter in the ninth to get on.
And there's such a nervous energy in the bottom of the ninth, regardless of what level you're playing at. And in a major league dugout, when you can get that first guy on and get the tying run to come up to the plate, there's a whole lot of power in getting that walk and getting that guy on base. And as you can hear here, the Yankees fans start to come to their feet as they understand what the moment's all about.
The tying run at the plate in the form of Mike Tauchman, who drills that one over to third. Guerrero makes an incredible play over to second for 1 and a first for 2. The young Blue Jays defenders look excellent here. Guerrero starts the play, ranging to his left on a very quick hit there from Tauchman. Throws to second. Biggio with a great turn, and they get the double play.
You can hear the boo birds start to come out there for Mike Tauchman. I don't think he's going to like that on his way back to the dugout. He's been very effective so far in his 2 starts. But a great play by Guerrero, ranging to his left, makes a great strong throw over to second, and then that relay to go back to first and get Tauchman, who's not exactly a slow runner, as he has quite a bit of range when he plays in the outfield.
So Tauchman grounds into a 5-4-3 double play, but Andujar follows it up with a 2-out single. So the Yankees still alive here. Now they're still on their final out. And the game very much in the balance for them, but a big single there for Andujar on the first pitch he sees in the ninth.
Yeah, and not exactly going to salvage the moment here for the Yankees, but the situation is very similar as they've got another man on base here as the tying run comes to the plate.
And that one misses low and inside. The first pitch offering to Gio Urshela, I should say. On the season, he's 7 for 29, and he struck out in the seventh, and he's 0 for 3 on the day. Hitting number 8, I mean, if you're Ken Giles, this is pretty much the perfect hitter you want at the plate in this situation with 2 away. That one misses low and inside as well. It's a 2-0 count.
And Giles has been nibbling a little bit here. I'm not sure if it's because he's missing his spots or if he's trying to work around the zone, but you'd think down 2-0, Urshela's going to get something to hit here.
As that one misses just high above the strike zone, so it's 3-0 now to Urshela. And Ken Giles missing his spots at the moment with 2 out in the bottom of the ninth, just trying to finish this game off. Andujar at first, the designated hitter today. And Clint Frazier, the right fielder on deck, he had a home run in his last at-bat in the seventh. Here's the 3-0. That one misses low. Giles missing his spots in that at-bat. And he walks the number 8 hitter, Urshela, who is now 0 for 3 on the day with a walk.
Well, this is New York, and Giles is setting himself up here in a bit of a Broadway situation as the winning run in Clint Frazier, a guy who struggled so mightily to find a place in this Yankee lineup, a guy who's already got a home run on the day, has the chance to walk this thing off for this young Yankee ball club.
And what an opportunity he has, like you mentioned, and what a moment it would be as Ken Giles looks to finish off this game. That one's driven into right field. But Hernandez is there to make the play and retire Frazier, and that'll be the ball game. So Ken Giles picks up the save. It got a little nervous there, I think Blue Jays fans were, but nonetheless, they're able to get out of that inning and get the win. So the Blue Jays move to 7-2. They even up this series at 1. And, Chase Anderson, after a very difficult first inning, recovers. And I think that was a very important part of this game and something that probably won't get talked about enough amidst the home run frenzy, and we'll get to that. But Anderson with a great outing that gave the Blue Jays a shot to come back.
Yeah, and Anderson walked the tightrope a little bit there in the first inning. Does put up the quality start, which we've seen quite a few times so far from this Toronto rotation. And they've really rode these starts from their guys here to a very, very strong start to the 2020 season.
So Ken Giles picks up his 5th save of the year. I misspoke when he came in. I said he had 3. He actually had 4. So I underestimated 100 Miles Giles, but he picks up a save there. He did issue a couple of walks and a hit in the inning, but he gets out of it. Danny Jansen 2 for 4 with a couple of home runs, and he was very important. The whole bottom part of the lineup important in this game. Chase Anderson picks up the win. From a hitting perspective on both sides, what stood out to you, Liam?
7 solo home runs. That's what stood out for me. The bottom of this Jays order has really been impressive for me so far. You had Shaw go yard, you had Drury with a home run in his old ballpark, and obviously you had Jansen, who's the player of the game today, with 2 home runs. Obviously only gets 2 RBIs because no one has been on base when that bottom of the order ends up coming to the plate. And I think moving forward, Montoya might want to try to tinker with this lineup to put those guys in more prominent positions and allow these guys to start driving in even more runs so that Giles doesn't have to manage situations like that in the bottom of the ninth as often as he does.
Jordan Montgomery takes the loss today, and not a great outing for him. He goes 4, allows 5 earned runs, issued 3 walks. He did get 5 strikeouts, but I think he struggled with command, and it really hurt the Yankees' bullpen as they had to use a number of arms in this one.
You got the game tomorrow on the Sunday afternoon, and obviously you had the day of rest yesterday, but having to bring that bullpen in early is going to harm the way that Aaron Boone wants to attack Blue Jays hitters in tomorrow's game.
So tomorrow will be the rubber match, the final game of this 3-game set in the Bronx between the Jays and the Yankees. So the Yankees fall to 5-3 on the season. The Jays move to 7-2. Trent Thornton goes tomorrow in his second start of the season. And it'll be against the former Blue Jay, the lefty Jay Happ. So a fascinating matchup tomorrow here on the Virtual Jays Network. And it'll be very interesting, especially early on in this season, to see what kind of performance the Jays lineup can do, especially against a lefty. They were able to hit against the lefty really well today. But also, follow up this kind of incredible performance with another good one after being shut out on Thursday. It's some inconsistent offense early here, but we'll see what they do tomorrow. So that'll do it for us today on the VJN. My name is Jackson Farough, and for Liam Crothers, we appreciate you joining us today for some Jays baseball, and we'll see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. here in the Bronx. Have a great evening, everyone.